Okay, this is Ed Whited from Whited's Produce. Got a couple of questions about seed starting. Things going on nowadays, it's not an uncommon question. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I start seeds, and just realize I may not be the world's expert, but I am running a small quarter-acre farm and have learned a few things. This is primarily intended for the beginning farmer. So, first things first, what do you plant in? So you can use just about anything, okay? You can use the reused 6-packs from a big box garden center, something like this. Most people that have been gardening have bunches of these around, and if you don't have any, you can ask your friends or neighbors that might have some. I'm sure they'll be willing to share. A coffee cup, paper coffee cup, a water bottle. On the last two, the water bottle and the paper cup, poke a hole in the bottom so you can get some drainage. But it almost doesn't matter what you use. The 4-inch pots, the round pots that you get buy your seedlings in, they'll all work. Things that I use as well are, these are specifically designed for seedlings. This particular one is 98 cells. They have flats like this. This is a 10 by 20 flat. You can buy them without holes, and these have holes in them. So these are designed to fit on top of each other like this, so you can bottom water. Okay? You can put the water in the bottom one, set it in the top one in, and it will, through capillary action, water the whole flat. But for the home gardener, the beginning gardener, you really don't need anything like that. A cup of some sort. I don't like glass because it's hard to drill holes in the bottom, they break. I also think that if you're going to use a plastic water bottle, put some tape around it, because sunlight's not roots friends. So we'll just use this one here for now. Next thing, soil. Planting mix. Most of the stuff you buy at a big box store will be fine. Alright? It's almost always pretty much inert, maybe a little bit of fertilizer and stuff in it, and almost always contains no soil. It's a peat moss or a wood chip or a cocoa coir blend with some additives, maybe perlite or vermiculite to help hold water, keep it from packing. But there are a couple of tricks. You need to moisten it. Alright? What you want to do is when you squeeze it like this, that it holds together in a clod. If it's too dry, you squeeze it, open it up, and it just falls apart. That's too dry. If it's too wet, when you squeeze it, water will pour out. Alright? That will lead to seed rot. Don't want that. Something like this is what you want. So, take your container, put it in, pack it down but not hard. Leave yourself a little bit of room at the top, because what you want to be able to do is when you water it, have a little reservoir on top here for the water, so it just doesn't roll off because you fill it all the way to the top. Fill it all the way to the top, you watered, the water's just going to roll off. So something like this is perfect. I'm going to use popcorn because it's easy to see. Plant more than one seed. Seed's cheap. You don't want to tie up a container with one seed and have it not sprout, because you will not get 100% sprouting on your seeds. You look at the packages, they're going to say 86%, 97%, 92% is their average seed viability, or your average sprouting. So put it in, follow the directions on your seed pack to the depth, and then cover just a little bit more like that. Water this. Now, I said you didn't want to make it too wet. That's right. But what happens is when you water after you've planted, you're compacting the soil around the seeds a little bit. Don't make it dripping out of the bottom. Just water it, and that will make sure that you have good soil to seed contact. You really need that. Okay? So, we talked about how you're going to plant more than one seed. All right? What happens when you get 5 or 6 or 10 or 20, depending on how many you planted in a container, seeds that sprout? We'll talk about that in just a little while. Head out. Okay, so last time we talked about starting your seeds, what you needed, all that. What kind of containers, what kind of soil, and planting methods. This time we're going to talk about, now your seeds have come up. They're seedlings now. They've reached the stage where they're starting to get true leaves. This is called a cotyledon here. These are the initial leaves that are inside the seed when it comes up. And the seeds right, or the leaves right here, are called your true leaves, okay? Here's one you can see a little bit better. Again, your cotyledons on either side, you'll get 2 of those. And then your true leaves will come here, and they'll be that way, look like that, as long as the plant lives. They'll get bigger and bigger, but that's what it is. So, we've got a bunch of them in here, and we're going to do what they call pricking them out. You just take a little stick, you kind of tease them out of the ground, being as gentle as you can, and you'll get a group of them like this. And then as gently as you can, separate them. So, you take them in one of these 4-inch pots. Remember, we didn't buy these. We got them from a friend. We reused something. We made our own out of a coffee cup. Whatever. Take and make sure that the roots are all inside the hole. Pack it gently. And now you're going to want to give it a drink of water. Not because the soil's dry, but because you want to make sure that you get good root to soil contact and displace any air bubbles or voids. Here's one of those 6-packs we said you could go to your neighbors or friends, look on Craigslist and get them. People give these away all the time because when they buy seedlings, when they plant them in the ground, they have these left over. Most gardeners have a bunch of them. Get your separated seeds or seedlings, poke them down in a hole, gently pack them in. These are a little 6-packs are a little more space effective. If you could grow these large enough to plant out into your garden. The best advice I can give you is to be gentle. You're just going to have to work with it. And not all these are going to make it, and that's okay, because that's why you planted more than one seed in your container when you initially planted it. Seeds are cheap. Plant them. You're not going to get 100% germination rate. When you transplant them, you're going to kill some. A bug's going to get them. A rabbit's going to come along. It's always better to have too many than not enough. So that's what you do. That's not what you do. But that's how you plant them. Now, give them that drink of water and put them in a shady spot. Don't put them out in the direct sun for a day or so, because they're going to go into a little bit of shock. You've just drastically changed their environment. You've disturbed their roots. So put them in a, not a dark spot, but where they'll get a little bit of diffused sunlight, not direct sun. And that's what you do. So this is peppers. I got a lot of these peppers here. These are jalapenos. I've got some banana peppers. I've got some other type of peppers. Show you what else I have here. These are different types of tomatoes here. As you can see, I plant them in rows and I label them. So these are red cherry, sun gold. This is a tiger. Didn't get good germination. A yellow Ann, Cherokee purple, Paul Robeson's. This is basil. Other types of tomatoes. These I pricked out of another flat, so I only had a few of each of them. This is just how you can grow them up to a larger size before you have to put them in your garden. And these are failures. It's going to happen. You can reuse this soil. It's a little crusty here. Take it, rehydrate it, and reuse it. You can reuse all of these. So, this is Ed out. Hope you guys enjoy your gardening.